Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my PlayStation State of Play June 2026 impressions. So, I was like, alright, let's see what we're getting on here. And we started off with God of War Laufey. So it's like, okay, interesting that we're focusing on Faye, and that she's pretty much in the afterlife of the gods. So that is a pretty interesting kind of setup there. Now, I would be into this. I'm mainly focused more on PC games at this point, and I did like that PlayStation was bringing them to PC, but evidently they're being like, oh, we want the strategy to push more PlayStation consoles. Sure. I mean, that would be working if we didn't have the AI apocalypse pretty much pricing that to PCs being like, holy fucking shit, and consoles into what PC territory was. It's like, you're gonna run into problems. But I do like the concept of going through the afterlife for the gods, and that it's going to be like different mythologies and all that. Deborah Ann Wool reprising her role as Faye, and they did kind of like interviews and stuff like that, and gameplay and everything. I'm like, hey, that sounds like a cool kind of concept. I was interested to learn more about her character in the God of War franchise, so it'll be interesting to see how this kind of goes. We've also got like the boys Jack Quaid's in there talking as like a gelatinous cube, so we'll see how that goes. We also got to look at Marvel's Wolverine, which I mean, you Logan looks pretty good in it. I mean, he's got like hairy shoulders and shit like that, but it looks along the same lines as like older school kind of. There was this one where it wasn't the X-Men Origins Wolverine one, though I heard that that was pretty decent too, of how like gory and nutty it went, because you need to do that with Wolverine. There's this PS2 one where you kind of went around and everything, but this looks to be like in the same vein as that, where they're still working within the Spider-Man Marvel universe that they've got, and that he goes kind of nutty, and you're like, how are we going to do that with him with his healing factor? And you see him getting like really fucked up, but then he's still got to not like take damage so that way he can heal the fuck up. We also saw that like Jean Grey was involved in that, so it's good that we're. If it's a Wolverine game, Wolverine should be the focus, bringing in certain kind of cameos as well, kind of like what they were doing with Spider-Man. Like you focus on Spider-Man and his rogues, and then you bring in certain kind of stuff and some Easter eggs, and that works out pretty well. Same with how they did Miles Morales. So this looks pretty interesting here. Let's see. Didn't get a date for Laufey, but this one's coming out September 15th, 2026. So look into that. They did Until Dawn 2. Evidently this was kind of a surprise. You're like a group of ghost hunters visiting a tropical island, and then we got like a slasher killer figure kind of turning up. So I'm not that well versed with Until Dawn, so look into that. Since it sounds to be more kind of like horror kind of focused, I might look into it to see what kind of goes on with it. We also got Stuntman Hollywood. Let's see. Taking real life movie and TV sequences from the likes of Back to the Future and Knight Rider into action this time around. It's like, huh, I wasn't that well versed with Stuntman, but I'm glad that we've got a lot of different kind of stuff kind of going on here. Kamuri, a 3-player action yokai hunting game coming in 2027. It's the first game from Unseen Games, a studio set up by Akumi Nakamura. So that could be interesting. 3-player co-op works pretty good around. We'll see how that kind of works out. I'm always leery about multiplayer games nowadays because it's. Yes, I'm getting on my soapbox and I'm going to old man this shit. How multiplayer games were designed back around the 360 era, where I kind of jumped onto it, are vastly different than they are nowadays. Nowadays, like back then, they just did it. You could have fun. Yeah, there was stuff for certain kind of unlocks as it was built in, but then it was pretty much gamified into the point of like you spend a lot of shit, or you spend an enormous amount of time grinding out currencies, paying for currencies. It completely and utterly affects the gameplay loop and what goes on with multiplayer. And also, this has infected co-op games as well. So just be careful on it, because I liked stuff back then. If you've got pretty much a 3 or 4 player co-op game that's like Left 4 Dead, you could do some fun ass shit there. We've also got Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. That was given a look for there. But the thing is, let's see. Release date is February 12th, 2027. But they do also use AI in the making of that. So do with that as you will. I'm alright with not needing to go for that. Let's see. Rayman Legends Retold. So, let's see. There's, of course, multiple leaks. Priced at $39.99 with pre-orders already live for October 1st, 2026 release as well. So, if you're into Rayman, go for that. Let's see. Onimusha, Way of the Sword. So, let's see here. Latest trailer comes alongside a release date of September 25th. The demo is also now available for the game, which is also available on Steam, that I played. And the thing is, when I'm doing demos, I don't want to go too far. It was very interesting since you're seeing me like, hey, you played around with 2 Onimusha games. What do you think of this? It's pretty much just modern Onimusha, where you can actually control the stuff that's kind of going on. With a little bit of a fusion of, I would say Dark Souls, but it's not on that kind of level, where the control of, you've got to dodge, parry, well, more you do like guarding, preparing, and stuff like that. You got your stamina gauge. Dark Souls mainly popularized it enough for people, and popularized it enough for a newer kind of generation to have that as their linchpin kind of thing, whereas they're continuing to kind of go forward and it's going for a couple of generations now, but it feels like a good action update of Onimusha. I fought a little bit of the monsters, I absorbed the souls and stuff like that, I saw a little bit of the cutscene, I'm like, I'm good, and they're like, you could have played it more, I'm like, yes, but I don't want to, like, it's that balancing act. I played the demo and I'm like, yeah, I'm good with this. Though, for some reason, it asked my fucking age, which, I mean, fuck. There's not like, you've already got enough fucking information on me to fucking figure out my fucking age and shit at this point, but it's like, age doesn't necessarily equate to the maturity of what kind of goes on, because I see old people that have, like, the maturity of, like, babies. Where their fucking object permanence, like, this is a red mouse. Holy fucking shit! What the fuck was that? It's a red mouse, man. It's just like, if you think you can handle it, and your parents think you can handle it, have that conversation. Like, oh god, you have to be involved in your fucking, the life of the thing that you fucking created. Yeah? Have you not read Frankenstein, motherfucker? Yes, I know that sounds kind of weird. It's like, yeah, that dude did some weird shit. Yeah, because he was a fucking, like, yeah, he just created something that's like, fuck you. It's like, fuck you, I didn't ask for this shit, bitch. And then, that's where that's, if that isn't a small distillation of that whole kind of thing. I know that's kind of a tangent, but it's like, if you're doing the demo, depending, like, because of the age verification pushers and shit, it will probably ask that kind of shit. And I'm just like, what? Alright, fine, whatever. But, I liked how it felt. I picked English and stuff. I'm like, alright, I want to see more of this. We got Control Resonant, doing a story trailer, also announced a September 24th release. September is going to be fucking hell. Godspeed, everybody. Like, let me see. Pre-orders are live. And PS5 users can even give 48... What do you mean give? What do you mean get? 48 hours early access when purchasing the Digital Deluxe Edition. I mean, I liked the first Control, and I'm interested to see how this kind of one works with Melee. I kind of balance of like, okay, I'm pretty much into this, so I kind of go a little bit into information mode, where I'm like, I don't want to know too much. Tell me a release date, and then I see how people kind of work on it, if it's in a playable state, and then kind of go from there and be like, yeah, alright, don't worry, and then it's, of course, see what code kind of goes on with it. Phantom Blade Zero, let's see, followed by a promise of a deep dive dedicated state of play later this summer, ahead of its, you guessed it, September release. Holy fucking shit. Let's see, Silent Hill Townfall, September 24th is the release date for that. Jeez. Well, hopefully that works out pretty well. Even though I wasn't that much into the story of Silent Hill 2, even though it's like the better kind of aspect, I did like what they were able to accomplish with it. I did hear some good stuff with Silent Hill F. Hopefully this works out pretty well. I want pretty much the VC fuckers to get out and have Konami just actually make fucking games. I mean, when you're focusing on pachinko machines and fucking loot boxes and shit, just fuck off. Like, make the games. Dune Awakening, September 22nd. Let's see. Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls, Doom, Magneto, Carnage, and Green Goblin. Games release August 6th. Ill, capital ILL. So that's more of a horror game. Evidently it looks disgusting, so keep an eye out for that. I might look into it. It depends. I don't mind gore, but if it's just that's its only thing, kind of like when I saw this trailer for like Eli Roth kind of Ice Cream Man kind of thing, I'm just like, that one looks kind of weird because it looks like low budget. Like, it's like that. It almost looks like it should be a low budget one, but yet it's trying to be like a higher budget one, so it's kind of falling in that kind of in the middle. The Lost Wild. I saw a little bit of this where it's got like dinosaurs and stealth gameplay, so I'm interested in looking into that. I'm into dinosaurs, but only in certain kind of ways. Like, you're like, hey, you're into dinosaurs, you should play Ark. I'm like, depends, like, how the kind of company kind of handles it, but I would like to see more dinosaur stuff. It's like, yes, please. Bancho, the chef. Dave the Diver developer, Mint Rocket, revealed a prequel telling the origin story of its sushi master, Bancho the chef. Interesting. We've also got Marathon giving a look at its second season, Nightfall, which launches the day that the state of play happened. Unsurprisingly, no mention of Destiny. Ha ha ha. Well, if you're into Marathon and having fun, I hope it's around long enough for you to continue having fun. Because holy Bungie. It's Bungie and the people in charge, man. No Rest for the Wicked. The full 1.0 release of Moon Studios' No Rest for the Wicked is coming to PS5 in October. Ace Combat 8 Wings of Thieves. THEVE, October 2nd. Yeah, it's Thief. Alright. I thought somebody did a fucking typo or something and meant Thieves. Dynasty Warriors 3 Complete Edition Remastered. Cool. If you're into Dynasty Warriors, I had some fun with certain Dynasty Warriors on PS2, so yeah, I get the appeal and everything. October 1, 2026. And then PS Plus updates. RuneScape Dragon Wilds will be included in PS Plus later in 2026. Guitarra Man, Psyops, The Mindgate Conspiracy, and Onimusha, Dawn of Dreams are all joining the Classics library. That's pretty cool. So, I do like that there's a lot of different kind of games there. I just wish that they would... How do I want to put this? I wish that it was more just Sony first-party ones. Like, if you're watching these showcases, I hate that we have to get the fucking console war bullshit of what is actually exclusive to this and what is a timed exclusive, so that way you can pick where you want to play and how you want to play it. I mean, Onimusha is on other platforms. I wish that they would be like Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation would do their kind of exclusive ones and then just do a poll and then just be like, here's these other games that are coming out this year. Or like the third parties come together and be like, hey, here's our kind of shit. Even though they've all like fragmented and everything. I hate when we see the third party ones on ones that are platforms and then it's just mainly they pay more money to have that premiere to make it seem like, oh, you got to associate this game with this platform. No. I mean, since I've been a gamer, that didn't annoy me back when I was younger because it gave me the information on the game. However, now that I'm older, I fucking hate that marketing tactic of, like, you got it with GTA versus it coming to Xbox or anything in the beginning and then PC later on. It's like, if you want to wait It's fine to wait. Now, it's because people want to be troll-ass motherfuckers and do spoiler culture like ain't nobody's business, because there is a difference between, oh, I'm hunting for spoilers, which sometimes I do to make sure, like, what's kind of going on if I'm interested, and spoilers being plastered every which way but loose, sometimes even hidden just to fucking fuck with you, and it's like, I can't go on the internet anymore? Like, give me control to block the fucking shit at least. And you can kind of do that to a certain degree, but it's down to certain kind of platforms, and that's the fucking issue. Like, give the consumers control of that shit. That's all we fucking want. But I think I like that it's a varied... One of the best kind of things that I'm seeing lately with these... What do I want to call them? Platform holder ones, is that we're seeing a wide breadth of what's kind of going on so that we get a diversity of games, because I've more done this in anime where, yeah, I kind of stick to certain kind of ones, but I'm exploring different kind of genres to see what I like and what kind of goes on and what has good stories. That's why I kind of want to have with what goes on with any of these video games, because, yeah, sometimes they might not be in my realm, but then I would like to either try them out, or I'm looking at that for other kind of people. My mom's more into kind of Animal Crossing kind of life sim ones. Give me that information so I can be like, hey, here are these ones that you can play. Now, is Sony being stupid, and are like the console holders in general being stupid? Yes. I mean, E3 used to be a great kind of time. Now it's fragmented to shit, and we've got Xbox fucking twirling around in the back corner because Microsoft has decided to completely and utterly fuck itself into infinity, 6 ways to Sunday, into, like, the black hole of its own anus at this point. Where it's like, fuck, so competition from that front, haha! This is coming from someone who used to be completely and utterly invested in their ecosystem. Sony has decided to pretty much go on the same kind of route, increasing prices stupidly, doing the same with PlayStation Plus, having this whole kind of strategy of live service games to the detriment of the rest of their kind of release schedules. We'll see what kind of goes on. Nintendo is the least fucked up one of the bunch, but they're doing price increases, but they're at least putting out interesting enough games and varied enough games where it's like, okay, their first party stable is pretty much the one that's locked on at this point. So this is a good one, but God help you if you're a PlayStation fan and you kind of want different kind of shit going on, and them not to act like a bunch of dicks and being like, hey, because the AI shit really has fucked shit up, where it's like, increase the console prices because everybody's buying up every fucking component known to man. It's just... Yeah, but I'm glad that we're getting a Marvelverse kind of thing, even though it's not being done by Marvel. I mean, it's licensed and everything, but you would have thought they would have jumped on that fucking shit. So, good on that. I'm glad that God of War is kind of expanding and doing its own kind of stuff, even though it's still using the Norse base for that. I do like them exploring other mythologies and a god afterlife, and I liked seeing more of the kind of horror kind of front being brought back. Hopefully Silent Hill works out on that kind of front, and I'm really hoping that Onimusha does well and is a good story, good combat, and kind of revitalizes the franchise, because even though I've had issues with it, it's a very interesting premise of samurai fighting demons and shit. Like, if you can't make that work, what the fuck are you doing? And this is Capcom. It's like, come on, you're doing the Resident Evil. You got back on track with that after 6, man. So, you can do some stuff. So, those are my impressions on the state of play. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.